Hello, my friend. Welcome back here to my home. Get my apron on. We're gonna work in the kitchen today. So we're gonna work on something new that I have not tried before, but I've been meaning to, and that is croissants. We're gonna do regular croissants. We're also gonna do a gluten-free recipe for all of my other gluten-free friends out there. So like this time of year, it's winter now, is a time when I try and work on some projects or learn some new skills. And this is a pretty easy one that I just decided to do today. I have some other things I really want to do with you guys. We've got some salve making and like tincture making we're gonna do. I want to make soap here soon, but I feel like I have to get through the holidays first and like get into the new year. Does anyone else have like that mental block, like you can't just take on another big project until something passes? And that's just kind of where I'm at right now. So we're going with something easy today. At least I hope it'll be easy. So we're gonna go and we're gonna make some croissants. I'm gonna grab all my ingredients and we're gonna get to work. It's a bit of a process. It's not super quick, but I am hopeful that it'll be worth it. Okay, I've got some measuring tape. I'm gonna be a little bit precise about this. I'm gonna make sure I'm doing everything correctly. Got some softened, it's room temperature butter here. So the gluten-free is gonna be a little less labor intensive, not quite as much time. You don't have to let it rest after every time you fold it over and roll it out, because there's no gluten structure here. It's gonna be a little bit different of a process than our regular gluten croissants. So the first thing I want to do is get the butter rolled out. I've got some sheets of parchment here that I'm going to roll it out between. So for the gluten-free recipe, this is a gluten-free Jules recipe. She's pretty popular in the gluten-free world. I looked at a few other ones like gluten-free on a shoestring and like the loopy whisk and another one. This one had the best reviews all around, so this is the one that I went with. The only like extra add-in that you should need is, I don't know if I'm gonna say this right, but it's psyllium husk powder, P-S-Y-L-L-I-U-M. It doesn't, kids are here. You're not gonna need any added xanthan gum for this one, as long as your baking mix, your gluten-free 1-to-1 mix has it in it. Now, I don't have the exact mix that she uses, so I think I have Bob's Red Mill. So that's what we're gonna use today, and hopefully that works out okay. But for this one, we need 6 ounces of room temperature butter that we're gonna roll into an 8x6 rectangle thing. So I'm gonna grab that one here. I need a spatula. Alright, so I'll take my smaller amount here. The gluten-free one does not require as much butter as the regular croissant dough. So I've got 6 ounces room temp butter here, and this one should be rolled out into that 8x6. Okay, so for the regular croissants, this one's a bit different. It says to mix the 1.5 cups of butter with 2 tablespoons of flour. And then we're going to shape that into a 6x6 square, about 1 inch thick. So let's get the mixer going. Okay, 1.5 cups of butter, or 3 sticks going in here, making a mess as per usual. We're gonna do 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And then we're gonna mix this together. We're not creaming it like with butter and sugar. We don't need to whip it or anything. It's just to blend it. so like I said, this one's gonna be a 6 by 6 square. What you need? You need some water? Okay, one moment and I will be right with you.
I need some water. No, I need some too. No, I need.
Okay, let's not argue about who needs water. You both need water and I will help you in a minute. All right, 6-inch square for the regular croissants going in the fridge. We're gonna start on the dough for our regular croissants. This one needs some time to like proof, have it rise up a little bit and rest. So we need 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm using organic flour from Costco. I'm gonna get that in here. Now I do have some milk measured out. We need a cup and it shouldn't be super cold. So that is just sitting out here. We're gonna add some sugar and some yeast and salt to this as well. So 3.5 cups flour. And let me see how much sugar, a 1/3 cup of sugar. Grab some salt. We're gonna add in some instant yeast next. That's what this recipe calls for, instant, not active dry. So we need 2¼ teaspoons. And we're gonna add that in here. And get all this mixed together. I'm gonna go grab my wet ingredients now. Now liquids. We're gonna turn this on low and I'm gonna add in a 1/2 cup of water and then a cup of milk, both of which are pretty much room temp. Now that it's come together, I'm gonna let this go here on medium speed with my dough hook for about 8 minutes. Our dough is already nice and smooth, has some nice spring to it. So I've got a greased bowl here. I'm gonna set this in here, put a towel over the top, and then this is just gonna proof for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna go stick it by my oven, which is on right now, not on top of it. If you stick things on top of your oven, and like some heat comes up, usually like through one of the back burners, at least on my stove, it will start to cook your dough. You don't want that. So I just place it next to my oven. So I didn't realize that my camera was not filming. So we started making the gluten-free dough mixture. I just have some ingredients in here. I have 3 cups of a gluten-free flour. It's a 1-to-1. And I have 2 packets worth of the instant yeast in here. So that would be 4.5 teaspoons of instant yeast. I also have 1 cup, not 1 cup, 1/2 cup of sugar, 2.5 teaspoons of salt. We're gonna grab some baking powder and we're gonna put some of this psyllium husk in here as well. So we need 1 tablespoon plus 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Grab it up here. And then we need 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of this stuff. And I guess this psyllium husk helps provide some elasticity that gluten-free products lack. So here's what it looks like. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see in there. It's just like almost looks like brewer's yeast. I don't really know what it smells like. Just, I guess, a little earthy. I don't know. It's not something that I've smelled before, so it doesn't really smell like anything else. All right. Now that we have all our dry ingredients in here, I'm gonna get this over here to the mixer. stir this up, and then I'm gonna grab 2 ounces of melted butter and 1 1/4 cup of water, warm water, and then we'll add that in here. Now we're gonna put this on low. I've got my melted butter and my water here together, and we're gonna add this in slowly. So like I said, the gluten-free dough does not have to be worked the same way as the regular dough does. So we don't have to like chill this, proof it, anything like that before we start to work with it. So this is, let me bring it over to the camera so you can see what this looks like. Looks pretty nice. It shouldn't be overly crumbly or too sticky, but this seems pretty nice. So I just have some parchment paper here. I think I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of flour on top of there as well. And it says to roll this out to 10 by 14 inches. I think it'll take it to about like 1/4 of an inch thick. Alright, can you guys see that there? That's about what it should look like. So now, okay, there's no excess flour. It says to brush any of that off. We're gonna take our block of butter here. Now, it says that this butter should be slightly pliable. It shouldn't break overly easy, and I think I might have to let it sit out for a minute or two to get it to that place. I just took it out of the fridge. Well, nah, maybe it's okay. Alright, so we're supposed to put it 1/2 down here, and there should be like a little lip on each side so that we can seal the butter in. There. Perfect. I'm gonna move this down just a hair. And then we're gonna fold the other half right on over. Maybe my butter pad was just a little bit too wide, so I don't know if that is gonna stretch. Let's see here. There we go. I'm just gonna pinch right along the edges to seal that slab of butter in there. Okay, now what is next? We're to give it a 1/4 turn and then roll out again after sealing the butter. We're gonna roll it to 16 by 10 this time. And then if the butter or the dough gets too soft at any time, stick it in the fridge. So let's see here. I want to turn it this way here. So same width this time, just 2 inches longer. Okay. That should be good. I'm gonna get this onto a cookie tray and I'm just gonna stick it in my fridge here for a second to get everything to kind of pull back together again and get it cold. It's been in the fridge for about ½ an hour now, and now it feels nice and firm. I did put plastic wrap on it. I don't know if I showed you guys that, just to make sure it didn't dry out. So I'm gonna put it back over here and we're gonna do our first set of folds. So we're gonna fold it like a letter. So I'm gonna take this part here and fold it into the center. The gluten-free is most likely going to crack on the sides, and it is okay. I'm gonna take the other side and wrap that around here. Probably could have done a better job about making sure that was even, but it'll be okay. All right, so now I think we're supposed to fold it again, but man, that's really gonna start cracking. Let me read this better. So I just realized I did not do that right. Learn from my mistakes, don't do them. I was supposed to fold it like a book, not a letter. So just fold it in half and then fold it in half again. So we're just gonna leave it at that. And I'm gonna turn this guy around. I went to fold it again like a letter and yeah, that didn't go well. So we're just gonna leave it like this and pray and hope for the best here. I'm not going for perfection today, as you can see. Just trying to make at least somewhat desirable outcome and have it taste good, so. And we're supposed to roll it out to 16 by 10 another time. So this person is saying like a book. A book just like is two parts that just fold together. But it's saying to fold the bottom half up towards the center. Okay, now I understand. That I didn't explain that very well. Okay, so here it's about the center. We're gonna put this right there. And then this one here. And then you're supposed to go again and make it like a book. Okay. That is more complicated than it needs to be. So, let me roll that just a little bit so it's all smushed together. And then we're gonna fold this in half. Okay. That worked a little bit better. Now it's getting soft again. I'm gonna put it back in the fridge just for a little while. Now we're gonna work on our regular dough here. It's ready to go. I'm gonna get it down. And we're supposed to shape it into about a 10 by 10 square. All right, there's our square. Now it says to take our 6 by 6 inch block of butter. And we are gonna place this in the center like so that it looks like there is a diamond in the middle of our dough. And then we're gonna take each corner and fold it up to the center of our block. The little package. I'm just taking the corner into the center. Okay. I'm gonna wrap this up. We're gonna allow it to chill in the fridge. I'm gonna just give myself a paper cut, of course. Chill in the fridge for about an hour. Okay, back to the gluten-free dough. We're gonna do one more of these book folds. So we gotta do 10 by 16. You can see some of my butter's starting to show through this here. There's our dough. We're going to make somewhat of a little line there. We're going to fold one half right to there. Press that down. And fold the other half to meet it. Right like that. Well, my dough was not shaped the best, but it'll be okay. And then we're gonna fold again this way, turning it to a book type shape here. I shaped it up a little bit, trimmed the edges there. We're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna stick this in the fridge for an hour. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, we're back at it. I just got back. We actually just went to the Amish auction that was going on tonight. So they were in the fridge for a little bit longer than 60 minutes, but that's okay. So I've had this here sitting for a few minutes, so it's at least workable. This is the gluten-free one. Now this one does not have to rest overnight. The other dough, however, we're gonna work that, do a few folds, and then it is going to rest in the fridge overnight. But this we are gonna roll out and we are going to cut it up and we are going to bake this yet tonight. So this one now, we are going to roll into 10 inches by 25 inches. And I think I'm gonna have to just do this on the table because my parchment paper is not long enough. So let's get some gluten-free flour. Now we're gonna cut 3-inch strips for small croissants. If you want bigger ones, we're gonna do 5. I am just gonna do small ones. So let's try and cut them nice and even here if possible. And we are gonna cut diagonally from corner to corner. Like so. And we'll just start rolling from the wider side to the pointy side. Like so. I'm gonna lay them with the seam down on the tray. I'm just gonna make my way through the rest of the dough here. Here's our croissants. Now I'm just going to cover these and they are going to rise for 1 hour before we bake them. We're gonna get our oven preheating to 425.
So these get egg washed and then I'm gonna pop them into the oven and I will lower the temp to 400. That is what they're going to bake at. You want to bake croissants at least 375, but you want them to go into a very hot oven. You want them to start baking instantly. You want that heat there to help the yeast expand and the moisture in the butter to evaporate, pushing up, creating those nice air pockets characteristic of the croissants. Now, it's not going to matter too much with these gluten-free because there's no gluten structure there, but with croissants in general, you do want a nice hot oven for them to go into.
I mean, that's not too shabby for gluten-free. Lots of layers in there. Definitely not the texture of a regular dough, but I mean, I'll take it. I'm going to taste some of this gluten-free one. It's pretty good. I honestly want to say it kind of reminds me of like a Pillsbury crescent roll. That's what I'm getting from this. Almost the same flavor too, which is kind of weird. But I mean, it's good. I don't really know that I would say it reminds me of a croissant, but it's good. So I think I would make them again for some sort of gluten-free bread item. But I think I would want to try some other gluten-free croissant recipes. Maybe see if there's any other little tips and tricks I can, you know, figure out to get them a little bit more airy. I don't know if that's like totally not possible with gluten-free, but I mean, if this is all I ever get, I would be pleased with it. I just wouldn't say it screams croissant to me, more crescent roll. Now it's time for our regular croissant dough here. It's been chilling in the fridge for a little while. So it says to lay it seam side up. I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit of flour here on the bottom of my parchment paper. And we're gonna roll this out into, let's see here, where did my directions go? 16 by 8. Now this one gets folded like a letter. So we're gonna do right side into the center. Try and keep it all somewhat straight edged here. And then this side goes up and over. I'm gonna wrap this up in plastic wrap. It goes back into the fridge for at least another 30 minutes, if not 60. And then we're gonna repeat this process 2 more times. Okay, it's late. At least we got the gluten-free ones done today. We got everything prepped for the regular croissants tomorrow, so they're gonna sit in the fridge overnight. I'm gonna get myself ready for bed, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, friend, we're back at it. Day 2. My regular dough has been in the fridge overnight, and now we're gonna roll it out. We're going to shape our croissants, and then we're gonna allow them to proof. And they're gonna proof for a while, like an hour to an hour and a half, till they're nice and fluffy. We're just gonna roll it out nice and long like we did before. I think that was like, was it like 25 by 10? Something like that, I'll have to look here. But we're just gonna get this rolled out, cut them up, and then roll up the croissants and get them on our cookie sheet.
These proofed for an hour and a half till they were doubled in size. And then I egg washed these as well. They went in at 400 degrees with a preheated oven, and they came out beautiful. Although there are some things I would like to perfect. They did not keep their shape so great. And while the texture was nice, my husband said they were absolutely delicious. These were gone within a day. That's how good they were. He and the kids gobbled them up. They didn't have that nice pillowy, like air pocket type texture inside, which you can see here. There was lots of nice layers, great taste, but I like to work on the texture, and I think that may have to do with my proofing time.
All right, I'm gonna live vicariously through you. Tell me how it is.
Mom!
Make more.
Yeah, what's different?
What's different?
Yeah.
These aren't gluten-free. That's what's different. These are regular ones.
Well,
That's why I'm telling you to eat it, because I can't.
they're
Okay, good.
Mom!
Regardless of the outcome, I will definitely be making croissants again in the future, and I'd love to perfect them a little bit more just for the fun of it. But I did enjoy trying something new out in the kitchen, and I encourage you all to do the same. Think of something you've always wanted to try and set your mind to it this winter. Learn a new skill. Thanks for hanging out with me today in the Homestead Kitchen, friend. I hope you enjoyed our time together. I appreciate all of your engagement on my posts. Please keep hitting that thumbs up button, commenting down below, and sharing my videos. I appreciate it. It helps this channel grow, and in turn, it helps support our family. Thank you all again. You all have a blessed day, and I will see you next time. Take care.